Are we on the internet?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, the secret passcode to the nuclear arsenal is 1, 2, 3. Point that other code I told you the other day.
Good to know. I'll write that down.
Remember the G as well. Don't forget the G.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so press the live button, Stuart. Go live because we don't.
Alright, I'm gonna hit go live now.
I don't know if it turned off if I did that. Help yourself.
Alright. Now we're live.
Oh, there we go. Ah. Hi, Stuart.
Hi.
Happy Tuesday.
For the record, Mark, yes, we did skip the animated series. I've seen them all, but I need to brush up on them. And Sam would kind of be useless. More so than usual.
I've seen 5, I think.
Yeah.
But that's not to say doing a review with you wouldn't be super fun as a weekly thing. Cool. Love it. But not in this format. That's okay.
Yeah, it would be good to go review those.
Yeah.
But anyway, welcome back, guys. Today we're talking about Season 1 of TNG. Don't worry, all week's not going to be TNG. Tomorrow we've got something special planned for our live, which we haven't done in a while. And then Thursday we'll have Season 2 of TNG. And then we'll carry on next week after that. So
we'll start with the weaker seasons, then roar into next week with the strong seasons.
Yep.
Give or take.
Yep.
And I worked out a fun gimmick for today, Stuart, and I'm about to put the graphic on the screen. What's my fun little gimmick today?
If somebody super chats in $1,000, Sam will be totally naked on screen.
Not quite what I... It's close. It's not quite what I said.
What? That's what I heard.
That doesn't surprise me, but what I actually said was for a $30 super chat, I will go and find the TNG Season 1 uniform I have, and we'll do the rest of it in uniform. And perhaps when we get to the TNG seasons, main seasons, you could convince Stuart as well, but that's up to you all. It's kind of fun to do things in uniform. So yeah, $30. I'll jump in Season 1. Make me so uncomfortable for us to be live, but also look the part. Up to you guys. Up to you guys. It's kind of fun.
Let's make Sam uncomfortable. Is what he's saying, I think.
Well, technically. I'm going to start sharing.
All right, you do that. All right, guys. It's my chance to be alone with you. By all means, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Hit that like button. Likes help us out immensely. And we want to, you know, have good analytics so we can get our content out to more people. So if you can, please do. And make sure that you check out the join option. There's a join option down there on YouTube, as well as over on Trekyards/Patreon. Lots of ways to support and help, and we really appreciate all that you guys can do, so please do so. Also super chat in and pick a episode for us to chat about today. We'll rank them, discuss them, see where they fall in the pantheon of TNG episodes, and it should be a fun time. So we're looking forward to interaction from you guys. So even if you just pipe up in the regular chat, that would be awesome. And we're looking forward to hanging out with you guys for about 2 hours. So come back and join us for the other ones we do as well. And if you haven't checked out the TOS ones and you're a big fan of TOS, go check those out. Those were last week. We had all 3 seasons in a week. So, but yeah, that's the spiel. Thank you for being here. Make sure you hit the like button. 24 of you here and only 13 likes. Come on, hit the like button. And yeah, support in any way you can. We appreciate it. There are links down below to the Teespring and the TeePublic store. The TeePublic store has some really cool stuff, including some awesome Trekyards merch. So check that out and maybe grab yourself some cool stuff while you're there. Couldn't hurt, right? Or could it? Don't know. Probably not. But yeah. So anyway, looking forward to getting into TNG today, and I am excited. Are you excited? And come on, somebody super chat and get Sam to change his uniform so that he can feel uncomfortable. Because that's always the goal. Whether it's physically uncomfortable or just emotionally psychologically uncomfortable. Oh shit! That's, sorry. You don't want to feel uncomfortable, so make sure you're subscribed to our channel.
What?
That's what I was saying.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, that's good.
Look, a distraction. Yeah.
Why is there a fox in my office? What? Yeah. So, the question I ask you and ask every time. Season 1 of TNG. What do you think? How do you feel? I do not think that these seasons blend as much as TOS. So, what do you think when you think TNG Season 1?
Not as bad as everybody remembers.
Mm-hmm.
But some stinkers. You can tell there's a little bit of a recovery from their plans for Star Trek Phase 2, because there's some scripts that were clearly written for that kind of structure and format, which they've kind of tweaked to have a more ensemble thing going on. But overall, there's some really interesting episodes here. When we went back and rewatched it, it's not as bad as everybody says. You know, TNG doesn't get good till season 3. That's kind of wrong. It's pretty good. There's some good stuff in there, and yeah, it gets better, obviously. But they find their legs, they find their structure, and it, you know, eventually works really well, firing on all cylinders. Here's a little bit of a, you know, bumpy start, is all I'm saying. So yeah, I think it's not as bad as everybody remembers. Even before we went back and reviewed them, I knew it wasn't as bad as a lot of people say it is. They just write it off pretty much. So that's my thoughts. How about you? What do you think of season 1 TNG? Or when you hear season 1 of TNG?
Yeah, I think pre this, I would think the weakest of TNG, with some, like, everyone looks a little bit too young. A lot of that's the uniforms, the hair Patrick has. Like, there's things that are not set, so everyone kind of feels a bit off, and they go into their stride. Having really watched it, of course, it's a sort of a season of contrasts. They were shockingly strong with knowing who the characters were early on. That's what we found, right? Like, Data was, you know, there are scenes where that is season 7 Picard in episode 4, right? There are scenes like, damn. Well, at the same time, there's really odd choices. The stories are much more hit and miss, but they're not really crafted for this cast in the same way, nor do they know how far they can take the CG or the sets. Everything has a very different feel. But given they're building everything from scratch, there's no archive of, you know, a warehouse filled with props to pull from and redress. Everything's fresh. So, you know, expense is on the screen, and it kind of, you know, shows in different places. But they, you know, pretty full on, etc. As they go, they can obviously reuse things and be more confident in, you know, they can make, say, the crew cores look nice just by changing the light from blue to red, right? And accenting. Here, none of that knowledge or experience comes into play. So it's both more experimental, weaker, but at the same time still the Trek, you know, just not there yet. So it's you know, the weakest of a good thing is to the good thing, you know.
Yeah, but at the time this was brand new and it was cool, and now that you have the filter of many other seasons afterwards that you have established as that's how TNG looks, this does look off. But you got to remember, going into it initially, this was just new and exciting and cool. So yeah, there's a lens there for sure. Yeah.
All right. As always, those you guys who say the words. So what words are you saying?
Well, Ozzy throws in $5 and says the trail never ends. I think he means trial.
I mean trail mix. They missed out mix.
Well, the trail, I mean, that we're on, Star Trek never ends. I mean, it keeps going and going and going.
He wants an infinite trail mix, you know, bucket. Maybe.
Probably not there. Ray Ricks, £5. The Battle, Season 1, Episode 9, Picard on the Enterprise. I mean Stargazer Bridge.
And this is kind of funny because you guys, you know, we love you all. Hopefully love us. You can really grab the good ones. You know, if you're right early to the fence, you can really grab the good ones or grab the bad ones. You know, and force our hand. But let me do a poll. And as it says in the thing up below, or at the top, guys, I've got a TNG Season 1 uniform in the other room, $30, which obviously helps go towards the channel, does amazing things, and I will jump into that and look at it as uncomfortable as Patrick does. Maybe even I could put a fire effect on my face. I'm not going to do that, but I could. I'm going to start a poll as well. Stuart, what do you think of the battle?
Well, this was awesome to see because we got to see a motion picture era ship, the Stargazer, which is my favorite of bridge designs and computer graphics. And it was also a brand new ship at the time for viewers, anyway. Learning about Picard's past command. We've got the Ferengi being nefarious. They were supposed to be the big bads of season 1. And this guy definitely had a grudge against Picard with this device that caused him to have headaches.
She's a queen. Oh, different grudge.
Yes. Why'd you have to do that and ruin my vibe? I don't like grudge. But yet I hold grudges. What? Anyway. So yeah, it's a fun one. I can't say I remember all the specific details, even after having rewatched it and reviewed it with you. That was quite a long time ago. There's a really good sequence on the bridge where he is basically seeing ghosts of his former crew, and that's really kind of neat. Unfortunately, they are, well, not unfortunately, but they are wearing TNG season 1 uniforms, but that's fine. But yeah, it was just cool to see another era of Trek kind of creeping its way in and establishing where Picard came from and what happened. It was nice visiting the Stargazer and seeing like the dedication plaque and stuff on the bridge. So, but yeah, it was a good episode. I think one of the better ones of season 1. The Ferengi thing, his son died, so I don't really blame him for what happened. But yeah.
Yeah. Now, as we've said before, we aren't judging this out of 10, out of S to F for itself. All the TNGs, just the season it's in, right? So that bar is a lot lower in this score sheet. So if things become S's or A's, does not mean they're 10 out of 10s or 9 out of 10s. It means in this specific chart, it falls in that base R. Just wanted to put that out there because that's kind of important as a metric. Because straight away, this is one of the best of the season, hands down, because it is, first of all, a decent episode in general, in the grand scale. Fun Ferengi, and they're obviously going off of the event. They've already decided menacing doesn't quite work, we'll do conniving. They've already slanted to a more successful version, and it's much more successful. Stargazer is glorious. Outside is the last anthropoid design in Trek for Federation with Rick Sternberg. Headaches have been removed, but now they're back. Weird reference, I guess. Headaches. And everything. I mean, the concept by itself is just excellent, right? Let's revenge the death of my son, which is very, Star Trek, 2, 3, 3 losing Marcus, and making him do it and relive it to then shoot your friend. It's very clever, although in itself, it's going to end in his death in theory, because Riker should then fire phase and destroy Stargazer because it can't do anything. It's fun. The bridge, obviously, this is the last time I think they used it before it got rain damaged, so it's super unique in that in this era, and it feels great. It's old, it's classic, and for someone who loves knowing the dates of things, I love knowing, having seen his visions, that yep, Stargazer, his first command, had these uniforms, which are exactly an early point for them to be created. But those sort of canon points I love, and had they been Wrath of Khan, it would have meant even more longevity of those. I like them being in season 1, and also the effects of them glowing and there's fire through them and I'm scrolling is really excellent. It's incredibly effective. I'm not quite sure how they did it because it's really good composite with fire, and it's really, really good. And we see the Stargazer maneuver. Yeah, I mean everything.
Picard maneuver.
Everything you try and do here is realised really well, and it's fun in a kind of dramatic way, and it gives you a lot of backstory in one episode. It doesn't really come back too much, the Stargazer, but enough.
Yeah. This episode apparently puts my dogs to sleep, so they snore.
Oh, that's nice.
No, I think as you said it very well when you said it's the best of the season. So yeah, it's going to be an S right off the hop.
I think this is an S. Yeah, I think it's creative. It's canon building. Everyone scrolling. Everyone gets something to do. It's good for us Trekyards fans. It's good for the Ferengi. Good for Picard. Yeah. I think this is an S for this season.
Yes, absolutely.
Slightly Trekyards pandering though, with the ship.
It's also in the higher end of, well, all of TNG, I guess, but the lower higher end. Well, it's still a really good story. So
yeah, like if this was made in season 5, it would be way better. But holds up. The story is super strong. Yeah. Cool. Wonderful. Straight
right.
into an S. Who'd have thunk it? And there's a poll as well, Stuart. You should probably read it before you forget it exists.
I should. Is TNG season 1 good or / okay? Great. Weak sauce, man. Go vote. Ozzy throws in $10. Thank you, Ozzy. McCoy was the first guest. Remember, treat like a lady and she'll bring you home. Yes. In Encounter at Farpoint.
Well, Oddie's credited as the Admiral, so they didn't really want to commit to him being McCoy. And had they actually like fully committed, it would have been sweeter probably. But that's okay. That's okay. Thank you, Ozzy. Appreciate it. You're the man.
Sergeant Montgomery, $5. The Last Outpost. Anyone know why they stopped using the hologram table? I wish we would have seen more of this tech.
So we just went from episode 9 to episode 5, and that shows the difference in Ferengi with only that many episodes. They're like, yep, we see the dailies. It's not a good direction.
Do you have a thumb or a picture for that one?
I mean, I did grab them all and put them over there.
Well, then there's not 29 here, so we're missing the Encounter at Farpoint and a few other ones. And I can't see. I can't see the Last Outpost one here.
One memento.
I'm still talking.
Let's
hit like, guys. 44 of you here, which is great. Make sure you're all subscribed and hit that like button. And let us know via super chat what's your favorite.
Not under them. Oh.
And Sean O'Sullivan, you sent in a €2 super chat. This one at least is $5 minimum, just because there's only a limited number. So
yes, must have deleted the first couple. That does happen though. There you go.
Yeah, if you put it on top of another picture, it just places it, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, there you go. The Outpost of the Lost.
There we go. Yeah. All right. Well, this is great because this gave us, first Armin Shimmerman as a Ferengi for the first time. Later goes on to be Quark, of course,
and the guy for Enterprise.
Yeah, and this also gave us the video game Star Trek Resurgence.
Yeah,
because it's based on this whole premise of these ancient aliens. So. Yeah. And you're right. The hologram table was cool. Well, it's not just not a hologram table. It was the briefing room table, but they had a hologram up. At least I believe it was the briefing room table. It might have been his ready room, but I think it was the briefing room.
Yeah, briefing room. Yep. They brought a special glass thing in.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah, it's like a separate part of the table, which is, I guess, they just clicked in and out, but it's never seen again.
Well, I mean, it was the Ferengi in it are a little bit they're hopped up on some kind of illicit substance in that episode. I don't know. They got the energy whips, which we never see again, except we do actually in Deep Space Nine. Marauder Mo, his action figure, had one of the little energy whips. But yeah, I'm just trying to think of anything else. I mean, whole idea of this civilization that was so widespread and now is extinct and just gone is quite an interesting thing. So
but I can review and you can scroll if you'd like.
Yes, please. I can't even find it. What episode number is it?
5. You know, this, having just reviewed all of TOS, this feels like a TOS concept far more than the last one. Ancient aliens with mega power, just grounded in a way that's not quite as fanciful. But it is definitely a TOS concept, and you could do this as a TOS visual thing. This is definitely a better first watch than second watch, because they really spent time hyping up Ferengi, the concept, the ship, the chasing them and battling and all that jazz, and then we see it was like, oh, okay. And now forevermore it becomes an interesting art piece of confusion and weird choices. First time it's meant to be quite whatever. Hologram table's cool. Budget, right? They probably said this is going to cost us, we think it'll cost us $12,000 to make it. It cost us $50. Let's not do that again because we could spend them on literally anything else. So they said, nope, let's not do that again. And it looks nice, but that's obviously clean up the master as well. Good ship design, as we know. There's some fun angles. Pretty straightforward story though. It's not particularly bold. It's about me. I'm half an hour in. We've just met, or half in. We've just met the Ferengi, and having bloody Picard on a very well keyed giant Ferengi face. Weird on the view screen. They go to the planet, find set, feels very TOS, and the Ferengi are just a bit silly. Just a bit silly. But the Takon are great. Fun idea. Love to see them used again. Used I believe 3 times. Could be used more. Weird makeup on the guy. It's a fine episode with some definite maybe shouldn't have done it that way.
Yeah, interesting Star Trek idea though. Like you said, with the what's the name of this race again?
Takon.
The Takon, yes, the Takon Empire.
Which in fact is giant in the Nick Cook Intrepid stories because he's really into those. That's one of his big character things that he likes to con. So we've already made a film with that, and then that's where he is in our Prodigy situation. So important thing.
Interesting planetscape as well. Very much a soundstage, planet hell set.
Definitely, I'm getting TOS vibes here. Nothing inspiring in this one, right? And the ending is certainly not weak. It's just doesn't work like they thought. My gut says it is a flat C.
Yeah.
I think there's a ton stronger. Just like scrolling through it, it's an easy summary. It's more about the tension, the build up, which isn't really there the second time, and nor the 40 years after, or 30 years after. Yeah.
Yeah, and Chinese finger puzzles aplenty.
I don't mind that. I think that's quite fun. It's just other things around it. But yes, again, guys, remember TNG Season 1 uniform, costume change, $30. Right over there, probably. Oh, Olivia, sorry you're sick. Hope you feel better soon.
All right.
Is that what you're going to say, by the way? Or did you just sort of jump and agree with me there? Is that what you're vibing?
I was vibing somewhere around there. I mean, I was probably thinking the low B, but I'm not going to argue. So, sorry.
Okay.
Brett Dean, $5.
Thank you.
Code of Honor is bad, but man, does it remind me of the Black Panther movie. Seriously.
I mean, I see some parallels.
I mean, there's a reason we have a hashtag Code of Honor. It means drink. Which I have a bottle.
Oh, the vodka. The vodka, yep.
And the fact that it's like right early in the season, it's episode 4.
Oh.
Yeah. If they had replaced, like, I wish it wasn't the African kind of context. I wish they would have replaced it with something else. Would have been much better. But still, the way the misogyny in this episode is strong. It's just, there's some very cringy elements to it. We do get to see Tasha Yar holding her own though a little bit. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a funny little fight in their little playground area there.
It's creative in a boring kind of way, as in like a simple structure, but it's kind of creative in that simplicity.
Yeah, and so many shots of the stunt actor. That's fine. It's fine. You don't notice those.
No.
Do.
Of course not.
Yeah, this is just a cringeworthy one, unfortunately, and one that I would be embarrassed to show to anybody that's not a fan of Star Trek. So even when you tell them to watch TNG, because it's like one of the best, they have to get to this one, and it's right at the beginning, and you're like, ugh, maybe skip that one. It doesn't really do anything for anybody at any point ever. So, yeah, not a great one. Probably the first F.
Yeah. The problem is, right, we're linking the social zeitgeist with the quality of the episode, right? I like the casting. I think the main guy is great. Second guy's fine. The lady's fine. Like, good fine, right? The casting's fine. Yeah. The set design is nice enough. It's actually quite... I think it's just the Farpoint station's kind of been, whatevered. If they were green, blue, purple, frogs, squids, little people, even anything else, the exact same script, this wouldn't be a conversation.
Yeah.
maybe different costumes, but the costumes are lovely. I'm scrolling. They're really nice. They tried. It's just they tried in a bad idea with bad writing for what the literality of it is. But they're trying here. Like, I even love the TOS style background set, right, with them on it. It looks really nice from like a nice visual standpoint. Doesn't fix the content, but like I say, if they were blue, you wouldn't think anything of it. And it's certainly an interesting enough idea. What if we deal with all these alien cultures, we go to see them, and we have to deal with their culture, which happens all the time. But their culture is, I marry women, kidnap is fair, haha, right? Like it's an interesting story. This happened in some other episodes, just not with this African context. So it's kind of like more modern day storytelling, whereby it's so blunt, right? Here is the message. It's in this case, here is the visual we're going for because Africans. If they'd been more subtle of the sci-fi context, it would have been fine. I probably wouldn't give an F for like quality of episode because I like stuff in it. But yes, the zeitgeist. It's not a strong piece of media. But Tash does get stuff to do, which is unfortunately a thing I have to say. Yeah.
Well, like we said, it was one of the first episodes, so it's like, okay, she's going to have things to do. Sweet. Good to know.
Yeah, just like I said, make them blue, make them red, make them half black, half white.
Yeah. Watching it makes me blue.
Yeah.
Mark Lawrence, $5. Home Soil. This ugly giant bag of mostly water. Loves this one.
But oh my God, Stuart. Because it's not.
There
we go. We'll read out next. Otherwise,
now.
Otherwise we're going to skip loads, and it won't be. It's paying for the time to be in it. So read out the orange, and I will go and do that.
Ray.
It's paying for me to be in it. So.
Ray Ricks, £30. Thank you so much, by the way.
Thank you.
The Neutral Zone, season 1, episode 26. The Daredex. 5 more if Sam goes for the scans.
I refuse to buy one.
Yeah.
Nope. But great. I'll see you in a second. But feel free to review this. I will put you on my phone so I can hear. See you in a minute.
Okay. Yeah, Home Soil is an interesting one. I use that a lot. The whole, ugly bags of mostly water. When talking to my kids and stuff, they have no idea what I'm referencing, but that's fine. This terraforming colony, they basically have a problem. Somebody gets murdered, and they have to investigate the murder. Data gets attacked by a laser. We find this little being that is expanding in sickbay, and then starts communicating with them. They realize that there's a sentient layer of water, essentially, under the surface that they've been disrupting, and they didn't even realize it. So they have to basically move their terraforming operations elsewhere. It's a fantastic Star Trek concept. Life forms that are so dissimilar from us that we didn't even think that they might be there. It's got a very quick wrap up, if I recall correctly, but you do get to see a civilian or a scientific station, which has some interesting vibe to it. The whole terraforming thing. The whole time watching this, I keep thinking, well, Genesis did it better. Well, just fire torpedo, done. But no, they're taking their time. They're getting the atmosphere converted and doing a bunch of other stuff. And it's a very scientific, outposty kind of episode, which we get a few of in TNG, let's be honest. Interesting outfits for the scientists. And yeah, it's an interesting one. I like the premise. I like the story, the moral behind it, of not being aware that you're doing harm and not even really considering that this could be a life form, and having that life form mess with you, essentially. I mean, that happens a lot in Trek. You're usually not in the soil. It's usually not in space you find a life form, but it's fine. And yeah, Home Soil, perfect name for the episode as well. But I love the twists and turns they took to get to the realization that this thing is actually sentient, and then they actually use the universal translator and communicate with it. Very interesting concept. Look, he's in TNG season 1. Attaboy. 38 of you here, 36 likes. That's fantastic. Yeah, this one's got a good overall plot and story, and it's kind of a murder mystery, and then definitely overlaps with some very science fiction, Star Trek-y tropes, and that's awesome because it's such a Star Trek story. All right, go vote in the poll, guys. Well, we have 44 votes. So they could do another 60 at the 50, but yeah. And Sean, if you want us to do your episode, which I don't think is even season 1. I don't think Shades of Grey is season 1. Matter of fact, I know it's not. It's season 2. So we can't even talk about it.
This one's fiddly with Pips. I'm going to skip Pips because they're very fiddly. Do I look younger now? I feel younger.
Yes.
It's weird. And the red is the first one I found, so I went red. Haha! Yes, Home Soil. Great premise, mediocrely done. Right? Will be betterly done later, but solid idea. Good to see the world develop, like I said, the uniforms, etc. And a good twist end, although it reminds me instantly of the Horta in terms of that sort of end twistiness, not necessarily the setup. The laser's fun. If I call it that episode, is this one?
Mm-hmm. Rotators dodging a laser.
Yeah, this is definitely enjoyable to watch, but not exciting or that amazing. You know? What are you thinking? Because well, I know what I'm thinking, but what are you thinking?
Well, like I said, I like the premise of it. It's very Star Trek with the alien presence. But yeah, it's not an overwhelmingly awesome episode. It's a little slow in spots.
I'm Thinking Man's episode.
Yeah, it's a good visual and some action of like Data like dodging that laser and trying to find out what happened there. But see, the problem with it for me is, even though it's not in my mind the best episode, I really love the premise of it and the whole misunderstanding that Starfleet has about these aliens. Not even considering that there might be a life form there because it's so different.
But I think B feels way too generous.
Yes, it does, absolutely.
C is absolutely fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I was thinking D, but then, like I said, I like the premise. And this episode is this is one I enjoy watching.
Well, D is when it starts to delve into C is B is A is you know, very very technical scale here.
Yes.
You know, we're very proud here on Trekyards LOVE scale things. And guys, thanks for the submissions. You guys are absolutely incredible. You're already kicking so much ass. Tune in back on tomorrow and Thursday for hopefully the key support. It's all the difference, guys. All the difference.
John O'Sullivan, €2. Shades of Grey, like Kurtzman, poetry they rhyme. Well, Shades of Grey is the last episode in season 2, so we can't even look at that today. Plus, it's not a high enough super chat. But I think it's Sean. He's just trolling, probably.
Yes, he's having fun at our expense.
Olivia, $5. Encounter at Farpoint. This is the introduction to the best thing ever: men in scants.
Bit of a cheat though, 2-parter, because this is the only one I'd want to make a 2-parter. Like Equinox 1 and 2, they're not one episode, they're 2 episodes, right? But this one is kind of more chucked together.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, this introduced us to the new Enterprise, the new crew, the new uniforms, saucer separation, Q, omnipotent beings, space jellyfish that can like morph themselves into any kind of shape. There's a lot going on with this one, and yeah, for an introduction to a new Star Trek series, I think it was really great because I remember it at the time. It was cool to see. It was like, this is something new and different. It feels different than TOS. It definitely has a kind of richer vibe to it. But going back and watching it now, you know. But it introduced us to so much, and it was the introduction to one of the best things ever. Yes, Olivia, TNG. So, scants be damned.
And Troy's scant as well. Skirt scant, you know, her hair.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the mystery of Farpoint Station played out a little long, but the reveal was worth it at the end, I guess. Seeing Q and his different persona, and then also the trial scenes, I mean, those are pretty intense. And that also shows a past segment of Earth's history as well. There's a lot of good stuff here. And learning about the computer, learning about the holodecks, because the computer guides Riker at one point, shows him the direction. And then we get the holodeck and the whistling android. Yeah, I mean, there's so much really good moments in this that are memorable and that kind of stick with people. And it also wraps the whole series up with the Encounter at Farpoint vibe of the trial never ends and takes us back to that. So, yeah. And I remember at the time being kind of blown away by it because it didn't feel like TOS. It was definitely something new. Wasn't quite sure what it would be going forward or if I'd continue to like it, but it grabbed us at the time, and that's what was important. So.
Yeah, this is another one of sort of harsh extremes, which of course the B plot, which is Q, is the most interesting stuff. The A plot with the colony is the weakest stuff. Now it's not because it's weak, it's just the weakest stuff. You know, and that makes the two feel of a higher contrast. If the Q was just an episode by himself, it'd be a stronger episode. Farpoint would be a weaker episode, but either one you'd need to kind of pad with other stuff. But yeah, the sets look nice, big. They put a lot of money in it. Feels expensive because everything here was fresh for this. Everything is whatnot. Everyone has something to do. That's kind of important because it's the pilot. Q's obviously a standout, and he nails it straight away. The history stuff is lovely. The colony stuff is, well, I'm going to order the source separation. Super slow and sort of dull, but iconic and definitive and sort of clever. But also as a god being, oh wow, put them back together. So he's letting them do all this, right? It's not like an alien you're chasing. He's everywhere. Like he's already gone to the future and talked to Picard as Picard is in whatever. Sort of joking there, but not really. But yeah, the stuff with the Farpoint colony is okay, right? Good ideas, too slow, nice enough sets, but not too nice. Yeah, it's a whole lot of contrasts.
Yeah, and it is sort of hard to review it.
Yes.
Having the whole legacy of TNG that came after it as a lens to look through it through. But yeah, I'm trying to get that point across that at the time it was pretty impressive.
Well, I'd say it felt expensive, but you wouldn't say it was well written. You'd say it was okay written. But it's got lots of little character notes because it's quite long and they have time for that. The ending is great and a bit vicious to Zorn. And Q is excellent, but he's actually a relatively small part of it in the grand scheme. I mean, I would say B just because the contrasts and see where it goes, because A just... It's not that good an episode, but it's got so many good bits in it. So I would average out to a B, because you wouldn't really recommend this to people to watch like for quality, but you'd recommend scenes or motifs because they're iconic, as they're not the same, right?
Yes.
And the jellyfish look amazing. I mean, they really do look super nice.
Yeah. All right.
Interesting.
Classic for real, $5. I can't believe someone actually nominated Code of Honor. Even I can't do that, even as a joke. Anyway. Angel 1. Yes.
I picked careful shots for everything, because that's what you remember for this episode. The
Commander Riker, the Wookiee.
Ultra deep V-neck.
Yeah, so this is for me one of the worst ones of season 1, and not a super enjoyable on a rewatch. It's a matriarchal society, so the women are in charge. You got Bonnie from Knight Rider there, which is always super fucking distracting. I just see Bonnie from Knight Rider.
Which one's she?
She's the one in the purple, the second in command. That marries Ramsey. But yeah, the Enterprise is there to investigate the crash landing of a ship and make sure there are survivors, and they have to go through all the political and bureaucratic bullshit. We get Riker, doing his job as a first officer and acclimating to the society so that he can talk to the leader. But then we get...
Sometimes you have to make out with them for cultural reasons, okay?
Yeah. And then we get Ramsey's crew, who are super happy to be there. It turns out they've taken a lot of these women on as wives and have built a life for themselves there. And even though they're going to be put to death, they're like, it's fine. We're not going to leave. And we get a very quick ending as well to this one. Everything's fine now. We're just going to let them live out in isolation.
Don't even remember the end, really, to be honest. The whole episode except the end.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
So anybody that wants to join Ramsey and his crew can get isolated with them, and they can just do their thing. Eventually, maybe the society will learn that men and women are equal. That kind of message.
And give men less deep V-necks. Or yes. Equality. Women, equally deep. Right? Equality.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, starts out with an interesting idea, going to check for survivors, and we don't really see them until halfway through the episode, but...
more than that.
Just the irony of his name being Ramses as well. And yeah, so it's an interesting story. It's not my favorite by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, it's an interesting tagline, not an interesting story.
Perfect. Right? Yes.
Right. Again, season 6 with a lot more of the grit. It could be a lot better. Yeah, I'm scrolling, and it's a roller coaster that is really a pedal bike, and everyone's sort of pedaling the whole way, so it can never get to speed. But it's good to see Riker do some stuff. There's apparently lots of holodeck stuff in it, which is nice. The set design's fine and nice and creative, right? I'm buying all the art design. It looks relatively, sort of expensive, but not really. But then it just kind of becomes, middle of the story happens. The famous perfume scene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh god, I forgot the Enterprise D shot where the lighting's broken beyond belief. That doesn't make sense. But there's a shot of looking up at Picard, seeing the night in the skyline, which is super awesome. Skylight. I mean, D at best, right? Because it's not good, really.
Yeah, I'd say it's D probably for sure.
Yeah. And apparently Picard was ill at the second half. I have no memory of, but okay. She was having balm. Beverly's running balm in his chest. It's like, okay. I don't remember that.
No, I don't either. But that's why he's not on the planet negotiating things. That's why Riker is.
Right, yeah. But the twist's decent at the end, but that does not... And the lady's fine at acting it, just, yeah. I think fair to say a D.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Wait, classic thrill. For the best thing Sam was about season 1 set design. Yes! Sure, yeah.
And is it the first use of that one city map painting?
Must be.
Because, it's used so many times after this.
Yep.
All right. Philip Cumby, $7 Canadian. So thank you.
Appreciate it.
Season 1, episode 13, Datalore. Oh, yes.
A genuinely good episode in any season.
Yes. Yeah, this is a great one. Of course, they have to go... I forget why they go to the planet. Is it because there was an attack on another planet? Because it's the crystalline entity, right? Mm-hmm. They go to this planet, find the laboratory facilities of Dr. Soong. They find lore. They activate him, and we get, is he good? Is he bad?
Yes.
What's going on? And he's got the twitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then the crystalline entity shows up at the end because he offers up the Enterprise to the crystalline entity because he was the one that betrayed the colony.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget how it ends. Do they deactivate him?
They have a fight in the cargo bay, and Data sort of forces Trix Law onto the pad and beams him into the entity's path and say, "Oh, you're gonna die now."
And then next time we see him is in Brothers, where he got picked up by a Packlid ship.
Yes.
He's wearing a Packlid outfit. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and then also Beverly is trusted with his off switch, which he does come to play later as well.
Yes. Yeah.
And this is a Chief Engineer McBeardy.
Yes. Miss McBeardy. He's a pretty good guy.
Yeah, wasn't bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think for season 1, it definitely is one of the better ones, if not. I think this one probably is. Well, you got to do your little spiel about it first.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
See, it's funny. I was angling to an S based on memories, but scrolling, I'm angling a little bit lower just because it's a good episode, as I said at the start, but it's great because Brent is great, and it's a fully realised other Data, and the contrast in performance tells you how distinct both versions are that he's played within 13 episodes, right? The pace is good. It's kind of surprising how much backstory they give Data, who's, this pretty ethereal, amazing, wow, one of a kind. Oh, it's two of a kind. Like, season 1, they're right into Data as being this giant concept. But that's good, right? It tells you so much that we can play with later. Yeah, Laura's fantastic. The split screen scenes are all pretty much flawless. I mean, I've remastered Clip a little bit, but I remember always thinking they're very good. And, well done. The advantage, of course, being that Brent doesn't do much except change costumes. So it's unlike most, swaps like with Endgame, where full hair, full makeup different is just change costumes. It's a lot quicker, this one. I guess they're more ambitious with how much they were doing. Crystal Entity, great design, great idea, really brutal. He killed all their families and all their colonies, all their friends, but I mean they were dicks to him, so there you go. And pretty dramatic end. And of course he beats up Wolf, which is kind of fun.
Bill Barkley, didn't this continue with the episode where Bev is in charge of the Enterprise? That's the third appearance of Lore, I believe.
Oh yes, that one.
Because this one,
descent.
yeah, because he shows up in Brothers, gets the emotion chip, beams out at the end, and we don't know what happened to him, and then he runs into the Borg, and creates that faction of Borg.
Okay, it's the weakest two-parter they ever did.
Yeah.
I liked it less when I just skimmed it. Acting-wise, I think it's still an A, but having watched, I'd say a lower A. Because it's good, but it doesn't quite hit the wow factor. What are you thinking?
Well, I was initially thinking S until I started talking about it and scrolling through it. And then I kind of was thinking low S, possibly a high A. And then you kind of came on right away and said, I was thinking S. But now that I'm scrolling through. So yeah, A is fine, somewhere in A.
It just doesn't quite hit the... Because Battle's just all-round good. This is all-round pretty good with a few little... I don't know. Little bits here and there, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
And if you guys disagree with any of these, you can bump them up or down. $5 super chat to move one tier. So if you feel strongly about one, by all means, chime in and let us know.
Oh, and by the way, I did start a goal, Stuart, and we did get 10 super chats in half an hour, and the reward was the biggest thank you we can give. So, Stuart, what is the biggest thank you can give?
Thank you, everybody. Mwah!
Thank you! Let's do my Patrick Stewart impression slightly. Well, I thought we were going to get that one, so Beautiful. All right. Keep on rolling through. Whole skewed board. That's good. We've got the whole range. Interesting.
We got Ray Ricks, £5. The Big Goodbye, Season 1, Episode 12. Shaken Dicks. Okay. So, one of the first holodeck episodes. Yay. What about Dixon Hill and Picard's love for, that genre of detective story. And, trying to think about how it happens in it. No, go ahead.
Well, they commit to the bit. They do way more than you remember. They various locations, they go to a courthouse, they just loads of stuff. It's like they really do commit. And I guess the holodeck's malfunction because of Nebula, and then all the bad stuff can happen.
This is also where Picard's stressed out at the beginning because he's got to get the pronunciation correct for this meeting with a certain group of aliens. Whatever. And so Troy tells him to take a break and take the holodeck, and he's stuck in the holodeck when they meet up with the ship, and Riker has to buy time, and then he eventually comes on the bridge wearing his outfit, and he does the whole thing correctly, and they thank him for his perfect pronunciation. Yeah.
And we also get the slightly hard to rationalize logic of holodeck characters that can walk off the holodeck and then disappear in a ball of fuzz, but they're not being projected. Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas versus later things where you just walk into the field and gone. But we've always seen in a previous episode they throw a snowball out, it hits, and then they're wet.
Fine. That's perfectly explainable.
It is, but it's not consistent with later versions, is what I'm saying. They said
they updated the holodecks because they knew that characters walking off the holodeck is a problem. So they just made it so you can't go past the door.
Well, especially as you have to walk out with a gun, shoot someone, it would still work, and the bullet disappears, but the damage is still done. Yeah, it's a really dangerous thing to leave that middle bit. But this is impressive because they fully commit to the bit. The acting's really stellar. Everyone plays off type, but interesting. But it's shocking how much this episode is just a crime drama. I'm scrolling, it's like a lot of the episode. But also, it's fun because Patrick, Picard, he's set up as this sort of hard-assed character, and yet to see him just have fun. It's very important to show him have the other side. He's not just the yelling at Wesley guy. He wants to go play. This is playing, right? What else is this but playing?
And there's some really fun moments with Data being from South America and Beverly showing up as well. I mean, there's some really good stuff in this. And some good character actors that do a fantastic job as villains.
Yeah.
And also his friend in the holodeck, who's like has to say goodbye to him. That's so sad. But yeah, it's their version of Piece of the Action. A little bit. Especially with the looks. Even the hats that kind of speak to the same hats that Kirk and Spock wore.
Just slightly more refined money being spent versus just like, here's standing sets and here's off the cuff, off the rack. But it doesn't excite me. I do remember liking it, but maybe it's because they spend too much of the episode in that one office. And it's not that's bad. It's just not very. You know what I mean? What were you thinking? What were you thinking?
I'm thinking of probably a B for this one. For the introduction of holodeck technology and showing off that for the first time. I remember being super impressed by that. But yeah, seeing what they do in their downtime is kind of cool.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think this is a better episode than Farpoint, which is obviously in B, but Farpoint is longer as well as memorable moments. But that's a different metric, right? So I think I'll agree with you. I think it hits that because have small ticks. It does. This is definitely one you have to rewatch and appreciate the small dialogue that we obviously can't remember. It's too, right?
Yes, and I'm sure there's some really great things going on in this episode, but
I'm kind of surprised how much he's smiling, Picard, right? You think of him as this dour guy, and he's having real fun. It's really, and Patrick being a theatre actor, the thespian, anything period piece, he's like, yes, give me this. Even Dune, future period piece. Very fun.
And Olivia throws in $2 and says, "I'm sick. Please forgive spelling errors. # NyQuil." Give me NyQuil.
Hey, Chuck. Good.
Please forgive spelling errors, and then immediately follow up with one. It's not a spelling error. It's just a incorrect moniker. That's fine.
Might have been a joke.
It might have been.
But probably not.
All right. Classic for real, $5. Rest in peace. Oh my God. The cute chick or whoever in Resurgence trying to dance around spoilers, but also the episode Justice. Let it be served cold like last week's Gach. Oh, fuck Justice. It was an awful episode as well.
A note I picked semi-clothed scenes because that's more what you remember from it, right? But
yes.
polite version. I didn't want the orgy. I mean, the intro.
I mean,
I'm to date.
It's very 60s with this planet, with the way they're dressed as well. It feels like it could be right out of TOS,
Would they have let
but-
them do it?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Did
Maybe
you
not.
see some of the dresses in TOS?
But maybe not the
Jesus.
men costumes. I feel like nipples are out, but women's barely covered is okay.
Maybe.
Which is a weird line, but I think that's yeah. And
But
no
yes,
bras. I'm scrolling. No bras anywhere.
No, but Wesley falls on some flowers and breaks one of their cardinal rules and is going to be put to death or some shit. I don't know. And you got this weird probe that attacks Data. There's a guardian essentially watching over these people, an invisible thing orbiting their planet. And yeah.
Now, just if no one knows what this episode is from this still, I'm just gonna give them a second, so just so people know, just for clarity, okay? Just briefly, keep going.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember.
It's this episode. Everybody.
I remember being super fucking frustrated with this episode, especially on our review of it, because it's like, just beam the fucker up. He's your crew, just get him out of there. Don't dilly-dally around their fucking laws and bullshit. But yes, with this more powerful thing in the sky, which I don't even remember that threat necessarily, if it would have destroyed their ship had they left.
It was a possible threat.
I don't even remember the resolution. Picard went down and talked them to death, kind of like.
Well, they
Kirk
say
does with
effort.
Computers.
Effort, we're leaving.
Well, good, because that's what I would have done from the beginning, and it wouldn't have been a fucking episode then.
Yeah, he talks to us.
Life on the Foley. 2-minute episode. We're out of here. Fuck you guys.
He beams down and says, "I'm taking him," and then he has a one-to-one with the space deity by saying, "Nah, guys, this is not our laws. Peace out." And they leave, and they hope it doesn't kill them, and they all leave, and it's fine. It's like, okay, good stuff.
Yeah, it's good for some reasons. This episode, but I
Very specific reasons.
Yes, but I really get super frustrated watching this episode, and that's the point of the episode. But that's fine.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the main girl that Wesley falls for is cute.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing. And Wesley's kind of cute in it. Like he acts it very well.
There's the sweater. Look, like, read the room, buddy. Like, it's a nice warm day.
Gone. Yep.
It's a nice warm day. Just wear something that's not a sweater.
Just go shirtless. Yeah. Yeah. This is a very odd one. This is very much Code of Honor level. But, well, gosh, I mean, if these are black people, right? You have even more insult, right? Like this because of the way it's framed, but it really is equally bad, just in a different way. It's sort of odd, structurally weird, very 60s, but not.
This feels very TOS. Like this was meant to be a TOS script or a Star Trek Phase 2 kind of vibe.
And it would fit better tonally with the 60s. It
would be amazing TOS episode, yes.
But unfortunately, it's the first time we see Starfleet Academy. Luckily, not the iconic angle. Luckily, but it's obviously the same building.
Where is that?
It's their society.
Oh, the society. Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't remember Starfleet in this.
Yeah,
the Japanese gardens. Yeah.
So it's the first time, and the acting's not bad. Like I having watched it with you, like everyone commits really well to this story. As daft as it is, I'm sure they knew it was daft. And it is a moral story, right? The fact that, yes, we as the god in the sky could win, and yet our morals say we can't. Until the other god in the sky says, nah. So it's very Star Trek. But it's just not handled well. Or at least it should have been handled better. But then I'm scrolling. I mean, the naked stuff is only the first sort of 20 minutes. Then it goes into the more moral stuff and fairness, which is the good stuff. Oh. So maybe not F, because over half of it is more interesting. But certainly the message and moral of this is much more interesting than Code of Honor. And it's way more memorable than one in D, which is just not memorable. Right? D?
It's still a D, I think.
Yeah. It would be so interesting, though, if you had to raise more money for fan films, and you did like a crowdfunder to raise some money to like reshoot TNG bad episodes today. You know what I mean? Like, could you make almost the same thing? Say, right, well, we can change up to 30%. Right? Shoot at different actors. Can you make the exact same thing, mostly, but better? I wonder, right? All the same story, the same conceit, but just can make it better. I wonder. Right?
Yes, is the answer. You definitely could.
And no bra budget. I think that's clear.
Well, as George Lucas says, there are no bras in outer space.
Yeah, never need bra budget in space. Next.
Brett Dean, $5.
Thanks much.
I flippin' loved Hyde and Q. Old weird Wesley, French pig troop, cocky Riker.
I don't know about you, but I watched a lot when I was young. I don't know why. It was always on. Do you want me to jump first on this one so you can skim?
Go for it.
Q's return, same season.
Stop.
Some fun things for sure. Much worse Delancey hair, but that's, you know, dependent on the what else he's doing. Very visually iconic, that giant green straight out of TOS vibe. Great army suit. Great basic concept of I'm interested in humans. Let's give Riker, who I think is the most interesting, powers. Great idea. As a simple concept, works well. Pig aliens he can't kill. Again, fine, decent. The weird romance plot between Tasha and Picard is creepy a bit. But she's, you know, damaged goods and he's French. And then I believe that they do get to the research station at the end, and there is a sort of there is a story as well about saving people and the morals of that, and the end is definitely stronger by a significant mile. For me, it's just the stuff on the planet is cartoony. I'm sure it's trying to be, right, but it is cartoony. And then the end is fun and silly, and we get to see real LaForge's eyes, a female Klingon, first one we've seen in the show, older Wesley, etc., etc. Yeah, good but not great. At least chunks of it. Your thoughts?
Yeah, there's definitely some memorable things in this, like the true identity of Q, quote unquote. It's not him. I forget what they called it. The three-headed cobra floating thing. And just the offer of giving Riker Q powers is pretty fantastic. The grown-up Wesley, the weird pig things, they all stand out. Geordi getting his sight back and be like, I don't want it like this. You get to see Worf with the female Klingon. We get some dialogue about what's going on there. Is this the one where Tasha was in the quote-unquote penalty box on the Enterprise?
Yep.
Yeah. That's just weird. So there's a lot of weirdness going on, but also just the return of Q from the pilot episode, like the first episode of the show. He's coming back. It's like, cool. Is he going to be an ongoing thing? Well, we found out, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't think I could say no as easily as Riker did, although Riker did kind of relish in it a little bit. Yeah. It's a tempting offer. It's a fun episode to watch, but a little friggin' weird. The green sky really throws me. It just seems so super cheap. Like all the planetscapes in season 1 are just TOS. Planetscapes.
But that's what they knew, right? And they get to come many alien planets because of it. So it was an effective thing. It just looks of its era and the decade and a half before it.
Yeah.
For this season, that's the question.
Yeah, for this season, it's probably, at least for me, a B. Because seeing Q come back, seeing all the powers that Riker could, all the gifts he gives to his friends that everybody just refuses. That's a decision I would live to regret, I think, saying no to that.
Yeah.
B.
I think B is fair. I think there are weak parts of the episode, and it's just a good idea not fully executed properly, but there's lots of little good ideas, some good little moments. Just maybe you remember the less good stuff over the good stuff until you're reminded of the good stuff. So, oh yeah, there is good stuff. But yeah, I think for the season it's solid with some good stuff. And I mean, as we're going through it, obviously we've only done so many, but to have a full-on Data prequel, setup from Picard setup, a brother to Data, 2 key episodes. They are trying to heavy hit for first season, and Code of Honor.
Yep.
Interesting.
Classic for real, $5. Too short a season, aka the episode literally everyone forgets exists. Yes, I also forgot about it, so you just mentioned it now. That's with the kids and Wesley.
And they can't breed or something.
All I remember.
So I'd never seen this episode, so when I did the thumbnail, I was like, Stuart, is this good enough? Because I don't know the episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Which was it called again?
Too short a season.
No, that's the one. That's the
one where Pulaski gets old.
No, Too Short Seasons. The Admiral is
Oh yes,
Admiral
yes,
Jameson.
Yes. Okay, so that's the one he wants.
That's what I mean. Everyone remembers that one because the guy has like 4 ages and.
Sorry, I thought you meant this one because this one I can't remember.
No, this one's fun. You get the really good use of the quarters set. You get the fun idea of a sneaky diplomacy from Starfleet. It worked until it didn't. One guy's young, one guy's older. Good casting of the Admiral. Good uniform of the Admiral. One of the better ones for sure. Good version of the makeup throughout. Baddie has a Star Trek 6 phase or whatever on his back. Yeah. And then he gives it all up to just to be a good guy and try and do diplomacy. Okay, right or wrong, but gave up his life and his marriage and whatever to try and right or wrong. It's yeah.
Yeah, some good scenes with his wife for sure, where he's de-aging and.
I can de-age you as well. I don't want to. You will. Then he horribly dies.
Yeah, it's very much like a Star Trek 2 kind of vengeance vibe between these two. Because I think the Federation sold them weapons or something and then betrayed them. I can't remember.
Gave weapons to both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. The acting's great in this. I remember they said they spent so much on the seat, the wheelchair, that didn't ever work because it was just too complicated. But they still did it.
Yeah.
Again, really good concept and strong guest cast. It's just pacing's a bit weird because they really want to show different versions of him.
Yeah, it's got a weird vibe to it, this episode. The old agent makeup isn't great. And
for the time, though.
I mean, well, sure. But yeah, it's not a memorable one for me.
Really? It's like the first Admiral we ever see. And this guy would have been from the Wrath of Khan era, because he's that old. Like, it opens up the universe. Like, I would say this is easily a C. This is better than Last Outpost to me. And better than Home Soil. At least in the overall episode. Maybe not the concept, but I would say it's easily a C.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, there are standout things like the Admiral and stuff for sure, yes. So, yeah, I'm happy to say C. It's not a D-worthy one when you say it, compare the other ones, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair. All right, what is next? Ray. Oh, read that one already. Thank you, Ray. Olivia Julius, $5. Oh. This is an extra $5 not to see Sam in a scan.
Yes.
His leg hair scares me.
Hey. Rudeness.
Right?
How rude.
Classic for real, $5. Can't forget conspiracy.
Well, they can.
Isn't that like... Isn't it a 2-part episode, though? Like, there's a part leading up to it?
Well, yeah, he's in the previous episode, as is the Admiral, but not... Like, they're setting up, yes. They're just not the focus of the episode. He's in another one. He's like, oh, I've been a dick the whole episode, but hopefully one day I'll be Enterprise crew, and Picard's like... Sure.
Yeah, that's where he comes and does an audit of the ship.
Pissed everyone off, and we all hate you, but... Yeah, sure. Oh... These are the Borg before the Borg. We'll become one with the Borg of squids. Your thoughts?
I mean, this was a very interesting concept to have Starfleet infiltrated. Not sure who you can trust. Mm-hmm. But, the little bluegill thing at the back is a dead giveaway.
I mean, long hair. Cover it.
Yeah, but most people don't have that, especially wearing these uniforms. They don't even have...
Oh, yeah. Season 3 involves easy. Just the collar. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great.
But yeah, I mean, this was supposed to be setting up a big bad, which eventually just kind of turned into what the Borg are, but that's fine. The meeting of the captains at the beginning, meeting the youngest captain in Starfleet, the woman, getting the Bolian captain, that was a cool little meeting, setting up the conspiracy of we can't trust anybody. We have to meet like this. It was great.
And just for Olivia, I found our scant out in the wild. So they did survive to the end of the season. There he is. You're welcome.
Nice. But yeah, the fight between Riker and the old man. Riker gets the shit kicked out of him. He gets thrown through a table.
And a wall. Door, sorry.
Yeah. And then the weird eating mealworms. And then exploding head time. Oh, that's one of the stupidest things in this is the phaser fight in the hallway. Yeah, you're gonna dodge a phaser beam, are you, bud? Cool.
And they even had to make it slower to make it less unplausible. It's like, that's even worse!
Yeah. The stop motion's a little janky on the critter, but that's fine too. Yeah. And then they sent this mysterious signal into space. Will it ever be answered? Yes, in Picard, season 3.
Which we all thought. Because the context of the ship, and then Terry's like...
We didn't all think it.
Well, and Terry's like, I never thought that. That's weird, you all thought that. And it's a giant theory. It's like, but the ship's the same as the... Looks the same as it came from sense.
Yeah. Yeah. We never followed up on. Cool little critters, though, I guess. But yeah, and that's late. This is such a successful concept with who can we trust in Starfleet that, of course, carried over to DS9 with the Dominion War and the Changelings. It's like, who's a changeling? But done way better. So,
although that would have been amazing to have bluegills come back in DS9 and the changelings, like, you see a bluegill starting to re-infiltrate, and then the changeling's like, no, not this time, and just snaps their neck and kills the bluegill. It's like, oh wow. You know, 2 different infiltrations and the changelings wipe them out in one go. You know what I mean? You can have some really, like, that'd be a very, anyway. This episode is damn unique. It might be the darkest episode of TNG. Right? The start is excellent with the conspiracy-ness. 3 captain meeting. The tone is all awkward and creepy and weird. All intentional. Seeing the captains is the set. That's probably the best use of Planet Hell set in the season. It's really well done. Really good Bolian. It's really, really, really just tangibly different and interesting. And then you go to Earth, which is hyper rare by itself. Go back to Earth, sir. That's fun. Bit of sleuthing. The Admiralty, Vulcan Admiral, first of a kind as well. That's fun. Admiral from previous episode, which we like. Bit of Starfleet Academy. And then progressive oh no, with a constant worrying how far has it gone, and turned out pretty damn far because they're in some serious Admiralty. And you know, people will never forget the name Enterprise or eating the worms, and the actors fully committing, because it's always memorable, right? Always memorable. The easy tricking of just putting a thing, and the pretty good set of Starfleet Command, or at least that building. Yeah. I mean, they achieve their goal right at the end. It's a very effective last act, until the phaser scene. And I don't know why this guy is in charge of the Bluegill Queenness. Why this guy? Some guy, some reporter, lieutenant commander, right? Don't know. But amazing effects at the end, creepy, and yeah, not a fun episode. Not trying to be. Damn memorable. And pretty good writing. I'd say it's a solid A, more for its oomph of the season.
Yeah, I was going to say it also.
Yeah, it's definitely flawed, but they're all flawed, right? In different ways.
Yep.
Now, do you guys agree? Because I can imagine the end pissing a lot of people off with how visceral it is. Let us know in the chat. Do you agree?
Do it now. We have 47 likes. I'd like to get to 50. So if you're just joining us and haven't hit like yet, please do so. Don't forget to super chat in your best or your favorite episode of season 1.
Or your comment about them. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, most people here might have been alive when TNG first aired, so let us know your favorite memory of season 1.
And don't forget to vote on the poll. We have 65 votes, which is pretty good, but...
And come on, 50 likes. Come on, 3 more. 3 of you have not clicked like.
Easy to do.
Right now. Click it. Click it. Click it. Yes.
Ray Ricks, £5. Justice. People running around in pajamas.
Can
We already talked about it, Ray.
And can you guess what my head went to when you said justice? The us thing.
No.
Falls a heel.
Oh, justice.
The way you said that was so convincing, like strong. Yeah. But yeah, justice. I'll give it a D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of shit.
But many fit people. Which ain't bad.
Classic for real, $5. An episode that is literally everything. Season 1, Dominion. Season 3 of Picard. Okay, the Binars one. Not looking up numbers. Stupidest title basically possible. 01001. No, it's 1001101, I think.
No, it's 11001001.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. I didn't look it up, obviously, but I tried to memorize the number multiple times over the years.
Yeah.
Because it might come up in a Star Trek trivia one day.
Sure. But I already have a bit of trivia by itself. That's obviously the shot I picked. First shot, if we were, if it was critical as we would be nowadays, this first shot of the Enterprise, the Bassards aren't on, and the blinkies are too bright. The Enterprise hull is poorly lit and doesn't look very nice, and the blue glows and they hit the ship. It looks like a model. It does not look like a spaceship. It is a poor model shot. Why the hell are Bassards not on? That's a bad model shot.
But once it enters space dock, the Bassards are on. They're just not super brightly lit, but they're on.
Sure.
It's fine.
I just never noticed that before. Like, that looks not good.
Yeah, and this is Starbase 47. Same shot from Star Trek 3, but that's fine.
Real expensive shots, so.
We get to meet, I think it's Commander Hansen or something. Anyway, the bald guy with the goatee is from TOS episode I Mud. No, not I Mud. Mud's Women. He plays the one miner that's on the planet.
God.
Yeah.
Imagine getting hired for both TNG and TOS and not looking that old in both. That's crazy.
Fun fact, yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. But yeah, this is cool. I mean, we got see what people are doing on their downtime. The Enterprise is going to be docked, so people are leaving the ship, and they need to steal the ship, these Binars, because they need it to basically be a repository for other planets' information because their computer's dying. So, in order to take Riker at least off the board, they upgrade the holodeck program, and we get Minuet, get to meet her, and they have this whole thing in there. Picard stays on board and goes to meet her. Not really part of the plan. And then they have to evacuate the Enterprise because they fake a warp core breach, I think. And then it's a case of where's our missing starship? And it's 2 guys on the ship and set to self-destruct. And Commander Riker, do you agree to deactivate? I do, most heartily, absolutely, yes, positively, without a doubt, absolutely, 100%, yes. It's pretty fun. But yeah, the Binars just didn't even think to ask for help. They just thought they'd steal this super awesome mobile computer to save their homeworld. Interesting premise, interesting story. The upgrades to the holodeck, I mean, they're really waxing on about it in this episode, how real things feel. So do those stick around? I don't know. Maybe.
No, they don't, because they say they can't recreate her, so.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
It's all temp. But it shows what it could happen with better programming, right?
Yeah.
As things like Fairhaven, I doubt would exist without this episode, and then I'm sure they negotiate some sort of treaty to work out, to have them teach and learn, right?
Yeah. But the Binars are a pretty interesting idea for a species. They live in pairs, and it's a fun episode. I love seeing the Enterprise get stolen out of space dock, because that hasn't happened before. Or sorry, out of Starbase 74.
Yes.
So yeah, seeing an empty Enterprise, 2 people aboard, and the last recourse is just to blow the ship up. Pretty high stakes.
This one's very unique for various reasons, but it's really cool to see Riker and Picard work together at the end. That was always a fun dynamic, and when to blow up the ship, or get to that point, was really fun. Baynar's great design, simple but very effective, nice in low decks. Minutia, memorable, obviously trying to be low-key in the sense of just human, right? But fun. And then Picard awkwardly, wonderfully third-wheeling. I'm just going to sit here and watch you both eye-F each other. Okay, Jean-Luc. What? Nothing, right? But yeah, great to see the starbase, great to see the context, great to see civilians, great to see the loading hatch thing, which, you know, I don't ever see again, but we see it being used, but not on the inside, which is really fun for fan films like me to have as reference. But it never reaches a high. But I think the idea could reach that high. It just doesn't. I wonder why. At least in my brain. Do you agree with that?
No. This is a fun one to watch, I think, for multiple reasons. I think there are a few highs in it. Mm-hmm. The arrival at Starbase 74, stealing the Enterprise. I don't know.
I guess, I mean, overall, overall, it's good but not amazing.
For season 1, it's still one of the better ones. Yeah. It's one of the ones I really enjoy watching.
Well, it captures that fun, creative, bottle showy, fun, Trekky, canon-y vibe. And the other twist at the end is like we just couldn't risk you saying no. That's it. Because if you said no, even though we're going to say yes, if you say no, we're all doomed, and we just try to save ourselves. Yep. Yeah. So what you thinking?
Probably a B for this one. B for Bynar.
See, I'm angling towards an A, a low A.
Okay.
Because I was saying it wasn't the S. That for me was clear. But there is so many. Like, it's clever, it's interesting. The set's being used differently. The acting's really good. It just doesn't hit that perfect note. But I think for season 1, like you say, it's diverse, interesting, varied. I would say low.
I was originally thinking an A, but when you were talking, I'm like, maybe a B. And I can make my for Bynar joke. But
I think there's the minuets was a bit too long. But it is there to pad for Riker's attention, so it makes sense. But I think it does touch into A, because I think it's better than Farpoint. I think more memorable than Dixon Hill. Yeah. For this Dixon Hill, it's better Dixon Hills. Yeah, low A, but I think it dips in there.
Yep, A for a pair of Bynars. There you go. I can still make my joke.
Just as well. Well done.
Thanks. Okay. Olivia Julius, $5. Skin of Evil with Windows XP wallpaper. Still a bad death.
Oh,
at the end, the grass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, this one was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Imagine filming a death scene, then doing more episodes after. Imagine how crazy that is. Just as an actor. Sorry, that's all.
Yeah. This one really kind of hit home because it's like, holy shit, if she can die, who else can die? Are they just going to kill off crew members randomly because they shouldn't get attached to people?
I mean, they killed off Riker's shaved face.
Yeah. Deanna Troi is on a shuttle which crashes. We got to go rescue her. Cool. And this is the one where they give Tasha a fucking personality at the beginning. She's talking to Worf like, "Hey, buddy, how's it going? Yeah, I'm so friendly and we're friends. Thanks." And of course we meet Armis. He's basically lonely, so he's hanging out with Troi, who's injured in a shuttlecraft. And these guys show up. He kills Tasha. He gives Riker an oil bath, messes with Geordi for a minute, moving his visor around. And he's basically the shut-off, evil, all the bad things left over by this culture that just left one could assume they reached non-corporeal form and just shutted off all the bad stuff, and that's what is left is him. It's kind of the vibe I get. But I mean, it definitely raised the stakes of the season, and you never know what's going to happen next after this, because we see Tasha die, we see her funeral. She's gone for good. We'll never see her again, except for when we do. It's pure evil. You're dealing with pure evil, and it's pretty well done, in my opinion. The effect for Armus is really kind of interesting. Riker going in and out of the ooze. It's also very well done. And yeah, you're right. It is a Windows Vista home screen by the looks of it.
They predicted the future.
Yep.
Do you like this episode?
I do. I find it drags a little bit. But it's still interesting to rewatch each time.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's lots of little moments. And even when Picard goes down to the planet, which is like Picard never goes down to the planet.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big deal. He could die. And you're just kind of on edge the whole time, at least first time watching it, because it's like, is Tasha really going to die? No, of course she's not. She's a regular. Oh, shit.
Well, as they say, it's brutal and meaningless.
Yeah, her death is just a meaningless death, yeah.
But that's why it works so well. Yeah, this is a very, just like we just had with the Conspiracy, hyper unique. No, and there's no Trek show. Well, no, okay, DS9 killing Jadzia, it's pretty meaningless as well. I wonder if they're aping it, like, well, she's just there. That's it. That's the only reason she got killed. But Agabus? No, not Agabus. Armus. Great look. Very basic, but very effective. Great voice. This, I think, works very effectively, the Planet Hell set. It somehow just works a bit better. The lighting, I don't know. Something about it. Definitely drags, you're right, but that's the tone. It's just so different. You don't know where it's going. You don't know what the vibe is. And you do feel like Troy's genuinely in danger. Because she is. You could kill her easily. But also his loneliness and all that jazz. Great storyline of him being, like I said, the residual bad of all the people. It's a fun, kind of like lore, in a very small sense, right? Like that sort of vibe. And yeah, darkest of the season, probably. At least personal, right? It's Conspiracy for tone, this for dark. Although as I'm looking, that shuttle is not the shuttle from TNG. What shuttle is she flying? I've always wondered that. Because they had to build a physical shuttle. That back is not the shuttle. What is this shuttle? Right, where are those pieces? Because they had to build it. Oh, no. Oh, and the fact
when he covers it, though. That always looked cool to me. When he kind of covers the whole shape. And
the fact that Jonathan Frakes almost drowned. Did the entire thing himself. And it looks horrible. It's great, right?
Was it like black ink and Metamucil?
Yeah.
And, I forget exactly.
That's
but
bad.
Yeah, it's just disgusting.
Yeah, but it's great. Like, it works really well and it's horrible. And it is funnier, this episode, knowing that Lodex just prank called him. The tonal difference is really nice. Yeah. I'm angling towards an A because the overallness is so something, right? Just kind of, yeah.
It's a pretty important piece in the TNG puzzle, killing Tasha. So,
and he's a great dick, right? The villain, he's good. He's really strong. He's just a pisshead made of tar.
Yeah.
I'm kind of pleased with all the A's, I'm going to be honest. Well done, TNG Season 1.
Yep. Olivia again with $10. Justice. Already covered that. Olivia.
Unless you're arguing should go up. Which I feel like you probably would.
All she says is justice. Where they make love at the drop of a hat. Any hat. Also, the one that almost shut up Wesley. Also, the one that has outfits. I at least want to see Sam in.
Can you just say the episode names in the next non-super chat? Let us know for clarity.
Chuck A, member for 59 months, the rank of lieutenant. Great fan film, new release, Samuel. This episode looks like the attack of the aerobic instructors. Oh my god, there we go.
Thank you and yes. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Classic for real. Member for 22 months at the rank of lieutenant. Worst season 1 episode of all is All Good Things. Oh yeah, it's so bad it ended with the whole series. As bad as What You Leave Behind, Endgame, and These Are the Voyages.
He's just bored, isn't he? In a nice way, of course.
Schmobuddy, $5. Episode 20, Arsenal of Freedom, has a lot of different crew in tight spots. Saucer separation, interesting tech demo. I'd buy 3. Yes.
It's worth pointing out, we still have plenty on the board. So if we can get some, we've got 25 minutes left. Lots to do. We can quick fire them a little bit more. We'd love to talk about all of them to see where they are on the chart. So guys, quick fire them in. It's got at least 10 we haven't looked at yet. So throw them in. Yeah, there's over 10. And some good ones. So quick fire. We'll definitely deal with them.
Do you want to talk about Arsenal of Freedom first? Or?
Sure. Everyone forgets about the end space battle. I don't know why.
I don't.
You don't?
That's what I remember the most.
Oh, my brain always forgets about it. There you go. My brain forgets about it. I love some of this. Lollipop. The great guest cast of the guy. The simplicity of war. It's a good allegory. War being done. Love the simplicity of it's just a bot. You destroy it, it gets better. You destroy it, it gets better. Very Borg, pre-Borg. Simple, effective float design. Well done. The Lollipop's captain has a horrible skin disease. Moving on. I've always quite liked the tension, not necessarily sexual, but like the vibe of Beverly and Picard in the we fell down a hole. Let's use sticks to heal him, etc., etc. Oh, and I dislike the engineer man who it's like just does not matter. I'm sorry that Picard gave a lieutenant junior grade command. You're a higher rank who's chief engineer. Just bloody take over. Just say the word. Of course you can outrank. Of course you can outdo him, local lieutenant. But like, stop! Don't give this young kid command. It doesn't make sense. I would not buy. Otherwise, a captain can sabotage any mission by letting Jeff. It's like if Boydman was, "Oh, you're in charge," and then Ransom's like, "No, I want to be in charge." Nope, can't let me in charge. I'll undo all the orders. Like, nope. Anyway, good episode for season 1.
Yeah, it is a really good episode. Riker seeing his pock-faced friend, his captain. I like that actor. He's in a bunch of shit. And the best part for me is Geordi taking command and the crew that are under him. I love how he kind of builds them up and tells them that they're doing good and that they have good suggestions. And eventually we get a saucer separation. We get the using the atmosphere to suss out where the cloaked thing is. Great idea. There's a TOS terminal in it as well. If the computer terminal for the actual weapon itself is all TOS based graphics, which is really awesome. The Picard and Beverly stuff is really well done. They have some really great dialogue. She's the doctor, but she's also injured, so she's got to talk him through stuff.
Chemistry.
Chemistry is fantastic. The battle bridge, a lot of great scenes in the battle bridge as well. And yeah, I love the end of it, this episode particularly, after the saucer separation, that whole trying to figure out what's going on and get that thing destroyed. And also the simplicity of, do you want to buy it? Yes. Okay. We'll
Done.
Stop the demo now.
Ticked. We'd have to kill you then.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll agree though, the weakest part of this episode is how small it feels. Tiny forest, big blue open space. As I was scrolling, it just feels so insular for what could have been a much better art design for that, and that really pulls it down because it's like it all feels the same scene with cool things around it, right? But they spent money on the source separation, not the set. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. And while you were talking, I thought that was kind of funny that in the counter at Farpoint, when we go on the holodeck and you see Data for the first time, it feels more like an actual real planet. Because I think it was actually filmed outside or in an internal garden.
Yep.
then all the other planets in the season just you can tell are just the stage.
It's a really good point. I mean, look how flat that lighting is, right? It's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good.
Yeah, the holodeck is just better environments than the actual planets.
Yeah, that's such a good point.
But no, this is a really good episode. I love seeing the chain of command issues that they have. The whole, Geordi being in charge and trying to deal with that. I think it's fun.
Interesting, but done.
Yes. And yeah, I do love the ops officer and the con officer. They're both really, really good. I wish they would have came back in some kind of capacity. Like, you get really good actors with really good characters, and then you just never really use them again. It's kind of a shame. Thank God O'Brien stuck around. He was in Encounter at Farpoint. He was on the Battle Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So, do that with some of the other characters, please. Yeah, this is a good episode. I really enjoy this one.
Mm-hmm.
Even the salesman, I think the character actor is really great. Yeah. All right. For me, this one's probably a B.
I thought you were going to say S. I had a sneaky suspicion you were going to... Well, scroll it down.
For the last part.
Show us the A and the B. I was thinking it's too good for B. Because it's some things does really well. It's just limited by other things. But I think overall, it's for season 1. This is the scale, right? I think what it does really well, it does as well as Datalore and the other ones in that thing. There's very different things. I think it's much better than Farpoint, but it's shorter. It's more consistent than Q, and I prefer it to it's more memorable than the period piece one. So I would vote low A. Because I think it does, and pretty much at the time, flying robot and a space back. It's only 3 shots, right? We did it. It was kind of pathetic, but in a nice way, right? I don't know. So if you're happy to go an A, I want to push you to kind of touch the A.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. I'd rather watch Datalore over this.
Yes. Conspiracy is more interesting to watch. Not better, but it's more interesting to watch.
Rather watch the Binar one over this.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'd probably rather watch this one over Conspiracy, though.
So we were saying, it's meddled with those batch.
It is. It's kind of a tough metric for me.
I think it deserves sneaking to an A for the season 1 standards. Battle Bridge and interior set and exterior set, the good guest cast.
Yes.
It would not be this high for any other season. Or can somebody tease us to another S? Because there might just be one I can think of. Maybe. We haven't debated it yet, but maybe.
I'd like another F.
Yeah, sure. Either or both.
Classic for real, $2. Oh yeah, thanks for the Alcars infographics. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, the releases today.
Never happened. What are you talking about?
What? And go watch our Kelvin Universe Converted Prey episode from the Saturday. It's interesting. Some great reviews so far. People like it.
Yes.
Yes.
I also have 73 votes in the poll. Pretty impressive.
Only
39 of you here. 55 likes, also great. But if you haven't hit like yet or voted in the poll, just go do so now. So let's see, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 episodes left.
There's a couple I want to talk about still. Oh, we said, well, shall we say we've got 17 more minutes, down to $3, maybe even $2. Quick fire, guys.
Do 3. I don't think you can do $3.
Oh, 2.
I think it's 2, then 5, something like that. You might be able to. I could be wrong, but I never really see a $3 super chat.
You're right. Maybe it's $2.99 I'm thinking of. Or yeah, down to 2 or 3. Because yeah, there's a few I want to talk about still.
Maybe. I don't know. Now I'm confused.
Prove us right or wrong. What do you think about this so far? Because we had not debated this earlier. So that fresh out of our brains. How you feeling? As hopefully we can put in some more in the last 15 minutes.
Feeling pretty good. I didn't expect the battle to be an S, really, right off the hop. Kind of expected Datalore to at least be an S. Code of Honor is right where it belongs. I really thought Justice was going to be an F. Other than that, I'm pretty content with this.
It's a really interesting metric, actually. It's a progressive, like, it's a really slanted scale. It's above average, and then there's some weaker ones. I'm actually kind of impressed. So I think we had good debates on all of them. So, yeah, it's interesting. But it is good to kind of have that line between the best and the worst, because you feel, right, the line in the sand of the top and the worst, which we don't really have in this show. I like that. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Well, that line in the sand might in fact be a sentient group of, water-based critters.
Or a sludge monster that wants to eat your heart.
Ooh. Shimobari, $2. Episode 25, The Neutral Zone,
Yes.
debut of the Trekyardians.
Yes. One of the icons of science fiction television.
Yeah, that was a season finale, I believe. Was that the one that introduced the outpost being scooped up? Or it mentioned outposts being attacked?
They mentioned it earlier. This is the first time it's like one of the foreground narratives as the Romans come in, and that's them saying, we're also reporting things on our side of the neutral zone, and therefore bigger story to come. But they'd said things throughout the season.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Okay, so this is the frozen people, and gotta admit, there's some real characters there dealing with the future. One guy thinks he can buy everything. This is the cruise ship, and you got the girl being sad about her family. All wrapped up in this whole neutral zone problem.
Because the fact is, people think of this episode as this picture.
Yes, they do.
In reality, that's the last 6 minutes.
Yeah.
The episode is actually this picture.
So people at a time. Yep.
It's actually this picture. And I hadn't, that's really what the story is. And the Romans don't appear until literally the 36-minute mark.
Yeah.
And they're not even hinted really throughout. Like, they're in the neutral zone, but yeah.
I don't even know what to say about this one.
It's a good first watch because they're all interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you can put yourself in the position of these people that have been unfrozen and learning how a replicator works and such, but
Yep. It's super straightforward. It's just people at a time talking to characters, each have fine chemistry. It's a good social study, and then it's the good stuff, Romulans.
Yeah.
It's just yeah. The Amelia Earhart episode more interesting, I think, than the 37s, but they have a lot more time to develop the effects and whatnot.
I want to take points off though. No matter what we give it, for the Enterprise model in the background of one of the shots that SNSL is on backwards. Not only backwards, but also sideways. That's 27-minute, 36-second mark.
Can we put points on to have a full composite of them at warp in the briefing room, which took money and effort, just to have it be different?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Because it looks great. I mean, all the different parallax of the... I think it even reflects on the table, if I'm right, which is really annoying to do. Yeah, it does. Yeah, they actually put the reflection, which Picard goes in front of. Even I'd be annoyed by doing that, to be honest.
Damn.
Thing is, this episode's okay, right? It's a solid okay. It's right there. I don't know how you could do it better, really.
It's remembered for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
as you said. Because I would have said these were 2 separate episodes.
It needed to be shorter, a bit more focused, and maybe a bit more threat of the Romulans. But that's not what's the point of them. But I mean, it's got to be a C for kind of not living up to potential and not that exciting. Even if the Datalore's great, it's like, that's right. I don't really care about these people. I'm so sorry. Except the guy being friends with Data.
Yeah. Yeah. C.
Maybe a high C, but even Goldie can't save it.
Are you sure about that? He thinks he can. He thinks he was very nice to this episode. Classic for real, $30. Fine, every remaining episode. Shit. All right, cool.
Which ties in with DB's also $5. Have always had a soft spot for always have Paris. We can wonderfully go through the rest. Thank you guys. Appreciate it so much. Hopefully you guys will join us for Thursdays. Also, all the episodes, we absolutely love these. They're so much fun. So support in the same way. It does absolutely let us do what we do. And join tomorrow as well for a ship video live.
Yeah, tomorrow we're just covering ships of your choice.
Yes. All right, so bring in 7 and we'll go through them.
All right. Let's start with Symbiosis. With
Not Marcus.
Yep. So, drug planet giving drugs to the other planet, keeping them kind of suppressed. Trying to remember what happens.
That's it.
That's exciting.
Acting's good. Cast are good. Effects are pretty good. The Riker face is iconic. Good moral at the end, as in, well, big moral. Picard walks away and says, "Oh, we're just gonna not let you not fix your ships and let your societies break down. But once they get over the hump of the drug addiction, it'll be better for it. Many will die, but we'll let it happen."
This is Wrath of Khan, the sequel. Because you guys do Wrath of Khan. It's great.
It could be a lot better with the exact same story. It's just not quite... It's not refined, is what I always think of it. Good idea for a story. Good sci-fi concept. Very much out of a novel, right?
Yeah.
I would say for season 1, so this is a B. Because the concept's so good, the acting's pretty darn good, the twist is good. Season 2 quality, right? I could rather watch this than Farpoint. And I think it's, for the good things it does, it's close to the Q episode. I wouldn't say a proud B, but I think it's a B. I would vote anyway.
Sure. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you pull one in now.
Sure. I'll pull the one I want to talk about. The Klingon episode. Which I forgot the name of because I can't remember it. We get the first appearance of Michael Forrest as Klingon Man. Full Klingon reuse from the other movies, and they look fantastic. Heart of Glory, there you go. Yeah, really good Klingons. They are anti-Empire. They're in the Klingon neutral zone. What? They're fighting the war against the Klingons in their freighter or whatever, and they come aboard. Super iconic. We'll disassemble our uniforms to build a phaser, which is a combo. Really fun. We get the first yell for death. Fun will end with really fun shots in the engineering room with Worf. Really good Worf story. It shows Michael Dorn like he nails it from the get-go when he's given the material. And yeah, both really good looking Klingons with good different side of, we don't want peace with Federation, we don't want peace with anybody, we're warriors, we go out and conquer. Super classic and well done. Can't he?
It's a good summation.
Huh.
The one thing I remember about this episode is being able to see what Geordi sees, and Picard being so enthralled with that on your screen. Because that was a big thing at the time. It's like, ooh, on the next episode of Star Trek.
See through Geordi's eyes.
Yeah. These are very typical Klingons. I think they're a little Klingon first kind of vibe. for the time, it's kind of disappointing a little bit. But they got the look, they got the armor. I love the addition of the, usually this is why when you arrest somebody, you take their like belt and their wallet and their keys.
Because of this episode, they learned.
They better have. Because making this thing out of the parts of their uniform is very janky and it doesn't really fit together super well. But never used again. It's a great idea. But the security guards are so stupid in that scene, by the way. Federation security guards.
Oh yeah, and the Katinga reuse with the wonderful off-kilter with the Klingon ambassador with a really fun fabric version that we'll never see again, and looks absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it kind of looks like how you would imagine these to look in the TOS era. You got the regular Klingons, and then you got the higher ups with the fabric.
Yeah.
And Worf's loyalty is to Starfleet and the crew. So it's questioned during the whole thing.
But he also hasn't met Klingons before, really. It's a really like instant boom. Here's sort of true Klingons, as it were.
Here's the asshole Klingons.
Well, and the kid comes out the elevator, the turbolift, and isn't taken prisoner, which is a surprise. Which is a good little scene because they might be warriors, but they're not honourable-ish.
Yeah.
I find this really rewatchable because they're very boom Klingon. They're 10 out of 10 for this style of Klingon. There's not a beat missed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact they think they're good enough to, with confidence, take on the entire flagship. Although one guy gets shot as soon as he leaves the room. Because they don't hit corners. Yeah. And right at the end, it's like, alright, I'll kill you all by the warp core. It's true. Just shoot the warp core. Yeah, you will kill everybody. It is that easy. Never used again.
Probably an A for me.
Yes, I think this is a very solid A. Touching S, if it had a bit more to it. Like the first, as I'm scrolling, like once they get on the ship, I love. But the first, like, third is a little bit lead-in. If it started a bit quicker, a bit more drama. But yeah, I think it's one of the strongest of the season by far.
Yes.
All right, next. We've got 4 more.
Okay. Where no man has gone before. That's it. Yes, introduction to the Traveler and weird warp calculations that takes them somewhere to the heart of the galaxy, universe. Galaxy, I think, or another galaxy.
Yep, other galaxy.
Yeah, is it the Andromeda? I don't know if they say. Of course, the Traveler we know becomes important later on. We get an Excelsior in this one in the opening. I believe it's the hood.
Always is. It's fine.
Wesley, we find out he's got some special gift.
Creativity.
We got this eccentric, weird engineer guy who thinks he's a brilliant guy, but he's actually absolutely not because it's just the Traveler doing the things.
He does it somehow.
Some very fantastic visuals in this one.
Cannon building visuals are all important.
Yeah. Stepping out of an elevator into space.
Great. A Targ.
Get to see his mom or grandma.
Which they retcon hard brutally later. And speaking of brutal, Tasha's scene.
Yeah. This is the sweater they gave Wesley in Prodigy.
Yeah. Bloody sick bay lit to trash. Because they haven't been able to light the sets yet. I think that's a conference room still. Maybe. Yeah, there's the one. Yeah, still a conference room. It's episode 6, so it's real early.
Yeah.
Has that helper guy not got a combat the whole episode? Oh, he doesn't. Huh.
That's weird.
That's real weird. This is a weird Pip. Pip makes sense, but combat. This one should be better. But this is the season of not so good episodes. So where do you think it goes on a slant of not so good episodes?
It's a shame that I have to say this, but probably a C. I thought this one was better from what I recall, because going to another galaxy, a lot of the crazy visuals, but skimming through it, I didn't remember a lot of it except for those standout moments. So
They don't link to this episode very well. The thing is, can it touch B in that so many of the moments are canon improving or canon being, the Targ is great, the acting of the Trevor's great, and the ending's fine. Does it just dip into B, or is it right at the edge of C? Because it's better than so much in C.
I would be totally content saying it dips into B a little bit.
Like, it's not a good B, you know?
It'll be.
But it's like, at least it's a good sci-fi concept. A non-honorable B.
We'll leave it at C.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, my bring in then the steamy scene between Beverly and Picard, which all of TNG is really centered around. Everyone gets drunk. Tasha's midriff. Wesley locking out the ship. It's fun. It's daft. Cool other alt corridor at the start with the Starfleet ship. Memorable. Not good though, but it's memorable. But what else could they have done with the material? And Will is like Bill because she's drunk. But again, Tasha's midriff.
Yeah, portable tractor beam emitter. Let's check the files. Oh look, the original Enterprise dealt with this thing. A lot of people hated that at the time. But a lot of people also loved it because hashtag not my Star Trek. Oh, look, they mentioned my Star Trek. So,
Quality, thoughts?
It's a good story. I just wish it wasn't so early in the season because it feels like they were using TOS as a bit of a crutch or at least a jumping off point. And by mentioning it, I wish it would have been later. But this virus returning and also being mutated, I like that idea. They didn't have to have people frozen, literally, again. But it's fine. I mean, it's good to see an Oberth class, so that's awesome. Overall, I really enjoy this one. Could it have been better? Probably not. I mean, it shows off a lot of really cool things. It's got the force field they put up in engineering. It's got Data messing with isolinear chips. So there's a lot of really interesting things here. Bill is confusing and annoying. But as you said, she's drunk, so it's fine.
Well, it's not actually new at all.
And Wesley taking the ship and holding it hostage essentially is kind of stupid and daft.
But it works better now once the hate for him has passed because it's such a prodigy genius thing to do. Once you get it works better as a whatever. This I think would be better as like a Voyager episode, a DS9 episode, Enterprise episode. Just the refinement of knowing how to make the cast and crew work together. It was too early, right?
Yeah.
It's in the C or the D. Is it C because it's creative and kind of fun, or is it D because it's kind of cringe and lets itself down?
I would say C. This is with the lens of TNG.
And season 1.
This is going back and watching this at the time. It's like you didn't know any of these characters. You only knew them from Encounter at Farpoint, so you didn't know if they were playing against type or not. It was just, like that's what I mean. I wish it would have been later, so we know that. Anyway.
Well, put it this way, I think this would be an F if you're comparing all of TNG. Right? Because the bar is you could
D.
But there's so many better Ds though. You know what I mean? Like if you're forced to scale it, you know what I mean? Like as everything in D and F is automatically an F because in the scale of TNG, right? If you're forced to compare, otherwise you'd have too many season Ds, right? No, I agree. I think it's a C. I think it's creative. There's some fun stuff in it. It's just, yeah. All right, last two of the batch of Super Chatted. There's a couple more than that, but I think we are at the end. So last two.
Yeah.
Which is most?
This one.
The test one.
This one, yeah. Coming of age.
With the best,
the one,
the best edge of set extension ever. Not. Yes, go
No,
ahead.
it is. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. It's also the first one with Dipshit from Conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 2 stories here,
Oh yeah.
and they're both really good, but I didn't think they were the same episode.
Well, they're both half a story, which was why we work together, right?
Yeah. So yeah, Wesley gets accepted to Starfleet. There's only a certain number of slots. They drop him off to do his testing. We see his psych eval, which was the most afraid of, and it's pretty cool. I mean, I love the other cadets that
Yep.
are there. The one girl is very attractive, and then there's the Benzite guy.
He's excellent. Just everything about the style and design is top notch.
Yeah. So seeing this Starfleet facility was kind of cool. Seeing some of the testing that they did, whether they help each other or not, they get points. Kind of like 10 points to Gryffindor for helping.
Well, it's like Men in Black. You need the best, the best, the best, sir. Right?
Yeah.
Got to put him through it.
And the little subplot of the kid getting in trouble and stealing a shuttle, and then Picard having to help him basically not die.
While he's
While
almost
this
dying.
guy-
Yeah.
While this guy's on board that's basically auditing the crew. What did you do last week? Is your position even relevant? I'm right. He's just a dickhead. And then, like you said earlier, at the end, he's like, "Oh, I really like you guys. I was just doing my job. I'd love to be serving on this ship at some point." Yeah.
But also, I believe he does know about the plot, as does the Admiral. So you think of it through the lens of they're making sure they're not kidnapped.
Yes.
So it's very much, it's better on a second watch. We know all the subtext. And it's even more sad they both get corrupted by the end, because they're like the guys who are trying to stop it and being part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this actually is one of the very first examples of a very well-told TNG story mixing an A and B plot, I think.
And an
a lot
arc.
of a lot of the season 1 stuff has just an A plot.
Yeah.
I love when they mix it up
Yep.
so that if one's not good, you can still enjoy the other part. But this was so well done and put together. I think this is definitely a higher one for sure.
And if I recall, they're also offering Picard an admiralty, potentially. Isn't it? He's an admiral and Riker's a captain, I think. Isn't that part of it? Like a potential.
It could be. I think maybe you're right.
It's a not a big part of the episode, but I think that's part of it.
I think they want. Yeah, I think so.
Which is surprising. You know, it's definitely Riker captain, because we thought, damn, you got already that level of promotion season 1, and you talked about that later in season 6 that now he's sort of stalled his career, very stalled. Yeah, this one is really different. It's very inner workings of Federation. It works better when you know the giant context. The guest actors are great, all of them across the board. I really like the instructor chap as well. His vibe is interesting because it's like Kobayashi Maru, right? Every year, all the kids are traumatized, but that's the point. So he really embraces that, and you get a real sense of the best of the best. But it's not shot the best. It's not acted the best. Not filmed the best. But it's a season 1, right? Different bar. What are you thinking?
Story. I mean, it's very well written, very well acted. The
For season 1.
The dickhead's a dickhead.
Yes. Hey, Stephen.
I almost want to give this an S, at least a low S.
See, I didn't think it was going to be that from the Wesley plot, and then I realized, oh shit, it's the other plot. Oh, okay.
So it's 2 memorable plots in one episode.
I think for season 1 standards, this is an S, because it's complicated and intricate and well acted, and there's twists. You do not see the twist at the end with Wesley coming. That is absolutely out of left field, and it's really satisfying. So, for entirely different reasons, I think, compared to the battle, it should be an S. For not even the same bar graph of sameness. Yeah. This has some of that secret sauce that season 1 is sort of missing overall, but this kind of has, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I was like, ooh, do I really say that? It's like, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you kind of said the same vibe, yeah.
I was kind of afraid to say yes, because I thought you'd totally disagree with me.
There we go, Stuart. We're learning.
I'm afraid to say M.
Alright, I think we're on the last 2 of the submissions, so I'll throw one in and go quick with it.
Yeah, quick.
Let's do this one because it's going to be mediocre. The Laxad for introduction, cool. the evil guy from Stargate Universe and every other thing. He's a dick evil who's nice in this. Looks kind of handsome but not guy. The plague ship, Andrew design, which is a good design. Sees her in a dream. Weird non-love story, but it kind of is. None of it really comes together. It's more TOS-ian, straight into a C, but an unrespected C. I'd say this is a very classic season 1 mid episode.
Yeah, this is a very Shakespearean tale.
Yeah,
Kind of has that
two
vibe to it.
families.
Yeah, and again, feels like a TOS kind of story.
It's not bad, but it's not like a joy to watch. You know?
I'd say a high D personally.
Oh, okay. Why the D? That's
What does it focus on, Sam?
the love story. Oh, you know.
Exactly. Why would you even... I mean...
But Luoxana, though. Like, memorable bring-in.
Very low C.
Because, yeah, I think the Ds have a certain... This has a certain...
This is like, I don't really want to watch it.
I know. But I think Luoxana is a really special secret sauce on it. And it's a Troy episode, right? As in, we don't get them enough, and she's good in it, and it's sad, and there's a wedding, and it's awkward, and they do have some chemistry at the end, and it's like, actually, for the other girl, and yeah. All right, last pick, Stuart, bring it in. We have a real highlights left to go. We don't, no.
Lonely Among Us. Weird, dazed, confused Picard shows up. Ship on a course for disaster. Picard's all pissed off at this other Picard for leaving his ship, and he's kind of an asshole through the whole thing. And yeah.
Are you thinking of the two Picards with the shuttle?
Yes.
Season 2. This Picard gets taken over by energy being from the Nebula.
Oh.
Hence Picard, the energy being Nebula. It's also the one with the two alien races that eat each other.
That just looks like the shuttle base scene. That's why I thought that. Oh, this is with the delegates that are eating each other. Scrolling. Who murdered who?
I like
First
Picard's the
data
villain.
like Sherlock Holmes.
That's fun. It's okay. Oh, is it TOS shuttle? That's fun. Oh, and the mutiny scenes. Yeah, that is fun. Picard's acting weird, it's mutiny, and then Picard out bluffs their mutiny and undoes it, which is really clever. Like, really well acted. Yeah. It's like, well, I've just got actual data to back up your claim, Doctor, then you can't. So, do you have data? No. Do you have scores? No. I'm being weird edge of the ship? No. Well, go back to job then. Okay, fuck.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say.
It's a C. It's a C. It's not bad. It should be more memorable. This has been an amazing season 6, right? Evil Picard, but it doesn't achieve it. It's a C.
And then we'll always have Paris, I guess we got to do.
Oh, okay. There we go. Sure. Thank you, Classic. You extended us another one. It's fine. I don't remember this one except the Parisness. Ex-girlfriend, the multiple datas.
Now with this scientist man.
Yeah. For some reason, for me, it's super unmemorable.
Shit, where'd my slide go?
I remember it being well written from like the Picard awkwardness, but well written for this season.
Which slide are we on? My slides disappeared.
27.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, this is an awesome visual, but I never remember what it's about.
Yeah.
Different time frames. And there's this really beautiful girl that Picard used to have a thing with that's now dating the scientist guy, and then that's the whole we'll always have Paris thing.
Mm-hmm. Just for some reason, hasn't zoned in with me. For whatever reason. Even having watched it. I think we liked it fine, but yeah, not
D. Just for not being...
Yeah, I think in this one case, definition needs to remember it or necessarily care. So yeah, I think you got to give it some. Yeah,
Give it the D. You know what? Yeah, D is fine. And let's bring in the last one of the season.
Oh,
Why not?
just okay. A freebie for you all because you guys have
Just
been
for good
amazing,
measure.
amazing today. D, don't remember it at all.
When the bow breaks, it's something about kids.
Yeah,
Supposedly
can't
goes
replicate.
down. They
Maybe.
kidnap kids from the Enterprise.
I guess.
You'll have a good life here.
Yes.
You can be like, indulge your creative side. Starts out with a kid and his dad on the Enterprise, and we care about kids now. And then
The sets are good, but they're just TNG. The computer at the end is fun, I think.
it seems like a very TOS episode
Yeah.
as well.
Right out of Phase 2 TOS, yeah.
Yeah.
Good concept, unmemorable. And a big Wesley episode, which is also unmemorable.
I don't remember. The one guy in it is from X-Files. He plays...
Isn't everyone from X-Files? Again,
I remember
unmemorable.
the story. Yeah, they need kids because they can't have kids, I guess. I don't remember.
I remember it was decent, but why is it not memorable? Right? That's a problem. Oh, first use of the Q snap spin throw away to a D shot. If that's gonna give it a point. Yeah.
I want to say F.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't kind of on bad. Unmemorable should get D, not F. F is bad.
Okay, D is fine.
I think we'd like it better if we saw it again, but we're not going to do that because we've already done this for too long.
We'll watch a review of it. I'm sure we say things about it.
Yeah. We do tend to talk about things. Alright, there's the definitive re-review list of Season 1.
Season 2 will be on Thursday, so join us for that.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about ships, we'll be doing that tomorrow. So.
Which should be... Oh my god, we did that review in 2019, and I've got a fuzzy background because that was a thing. Doesn't matter how much work put in. Oh.
So I didn't hear what you said, sorry.
Does it... Oh, so in 2019, and I had a fuzzy background because it was now a new thing.
They are. They needed... Yeah. Okay. Can you put it on screen?
The Defiant special, and it 12,000 views, and that's the Defiant.
If not,
so
that's
it's
fine.
in the
Don't worry
piece of
about
Defiant. Like,
Starts, it'll also help. But that's when we release our good content, is during the winter months.
great, and I just have a bit more drink in my glass.
Apparently we're drinking as well.
To, again, let them show their findings until obviously they realize that they can't beam because they've stopped
Drinking?
Yeah.
What did they do?
Alcohol?
Yeah.
I have no
Must have
idea.
been
Nothing you said made any sense. Say that again.
Hey, that was mean.
This scene they're just talking about how the radiation is affecting them, how it'll evacuate.
Trying to find our scores at the end.
Doesn't quite
Yeah.
make sense.
First-
Kenobi did, but okay. But yeah, lighting's beautiful. The quick.
Not much there. Like I said, some editing needed to be redone. Conversation really for
Australia is not really
thought out
flat.
properly.
Just ask a flat earther.
So-
So $5 Australian and says, "I want to talk about Lower Decks." Then go watch our Lower Decks content because no one else did.
TNG. I'm going to give.
We'll get to
this
Lower Decks
a 2.
eventually, where we do
Yeah.
each one in the season.
And
Kind of
I'm
going in
going to
order.
give this
Okay, ready for your score?
Sure.
For all TNG, give it a
2.
2.
And
Yeah,
for
good. It was a good one.
season 1,
Season
I'll probably
1,
give it a 3.5.
3.5.
Possibly a 4.
Possibly a 4.
At the outside.
At the outside.
Wow. No, 3.5. I think
Nah,
it's
3.5 I
good for
think
this
is
one.
good for this one.
So 3.5.
3.5.
For season 1.
Season
It's
one.
just
It's
What
there's
just
would you give
nothing.
it?
Nothing
there's
to this
nothing
episode.
to this episode.
It just needs some fleshing out.
Last
Wow.
episodes were.
That's real bad.
to me.
But it's funny because it's
For us,
it's
that's
as
real bad.
simple as so many. It's very that lots of the.
You cut off, so I didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
Does it? Would you not?
Needed a beat. Kirk Spock.
Where's
This
my-
one has such a depth to this, fleshed out some characters. But yeah, as far as a lot just to feel repeating us that way.
Come on,
Like,
Sam.
yeah.
Give your
puts
score.
easily, character and be good the episode generally.
Its parts is it pretty
Tend to
good?
talk a lot.
Is that what you're going for? Well, you know, if they were wearing my hair's better, head makeup would be in face similar. Full comment.
I'll spell it. Oh, Wednesday, but we haven't done because to be fair,
I assume I'm going to give it bad as well. I think that's fair. All right, well there you go. That's why it's low.
perfect.
Perfect.
Well, we gotta go, guys.
Yes.
We're way over time, so join us tomorrow for ships. Join us tomorrow or Thursday, sorry, for season 2 of TNG.
That'd be interesting. Well done, and well done, season 1 of TNG for having actually respectable score chart for season 1.
Yeah.
All right, until then, he is Captain Foley, and we're both sort of uniform, kind of, mostly.
And he is enlisted man Cockings because he has no pips.
But I got the neck of season 1.
I'm actually a Sith Lord.
Yes.
Yes.
Feel the goatee.
Go through you.
The goatee and glasses dipping under the beard. Yes.
Until next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.